I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. Hey, what's going on, guys? This video is about tomatoes. Wonderful tomatoes. I just got finished making a batch of pigtails bacon jerky. If you want some, go to John's Coin Rings. Type that into Google with no spaces, and you can find my bacon jerky, my beef jerky, my coin rings. But this video is about tomatoes, right? Right? Buddha. I think that's your name. It's kind of about tomatoes, but since I started this, other things have happened, like pineapples and basil and mint and green onions. So bought this grape from Walmart, $8. Started growing, just growing nicely. This was an indoor tomato. It's actually produced some tomatoes. It's the shortest one. Here's my backyard tomatoes. This one's climbing the fence here, and I actually tied it with fishing line to the fence, and I actually would like it to go right across the fence line. Here's my pineapple I buried a year ago. Basil. Here's a sucker, lateral they call them, I guess. My box garden started to fall over, so I emptied it out, and I don't know if I'm going to reinforce this one or make a new one or what. There's some mint. There's some cacti. These are green onions that are actually blooming. I've never seen a green onion bloom. I bought these from Walmart to make Valentine's dinner for my wife. Cut them all up into tiny pieces for the baked potato. And I came out here and buried them, and they just started growing again. Here's like a 3-year-old grape plant. It actually started right underneath here, and it grew really, really tall. And then I moved it and buried it and buried it and moved it up to the fence line. Now it goes up into the sides, and still no grapes. If I don't see some grapes next year, I'm going to be upset. Now these, I planted from seeds, and you see they're growing beautifully. Look at them. Hungarian paprika. You know paprika? Paprika is actually pronounced paprika. It's a Hungarian word. It means pepper. Oh, that could get confusing, huh? Check this. Hungarian paprika. Look how many are just spouting out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the first one. Comes out, it's like, look at me. I'm here and I'm ready for you. You like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? This one I transplanted from the box garden. But you see, it's coming back to life. All right, now for the front yard, because I'm having technical difficulties in the front yard. All right, so now we're walking up to the second indoor plant, which is actually taller than me now. But still the shortest one, the second shortest one. But you see, it's producing. Those are ripe. I could pick those red ones and eat them. And you see, it's producing nice clusters. And as long as you take the laterals off, you see how they grow nice and even. And then look at this beast. Or beasts. The one in the middle actually slouched over and broke. And all I did was pick it back up and tie it, and it healed itself, and now it's growing again. The one on the left is almost as tall as the house, as you can see. The one on the far right is way taller than the house. It started growing sideways, and now I've actually got it tied to the house with some nails. This thing is literally growing like a grapevine. We've already picked. Like, I come out here and I pick almost 2 handfuls of tomatoes anytime we want them. That is a beautiful red tomato. And look at these. They just keep going and going and going down the side of the house. And look at that lateral right there. Or sucker. I like calling them suckers. And it's just going to keep going and going. I put extra nails. See? I got fishing line there. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah. There's that. And let's go to the other part of the house now. There's my pineapple. Second one I buried directly into the ground here. Hopefully it'll grow. Alright, now you got this thing, also taller than the house. Tomatoes turning orange, but not red. They're getting there. Some of them are like rotting before they turn red, so it's probably lack of nutrients or something going on here. But look how this thing just comes up and curves. And I've actually tied it to the house so that it has a place to grow up to. It's gonna keep going. And then we got some laterals. I don't think that one's gonna make it. And then you got the Cherry Sovereign. The tomatoes are on the ground. The thing is like falling over. And I've also tied those up. Damn love bugs. Ah, get off me, man. Look, stupid love bugs. One thing about Florida, stupid love bugs. They rip your car up. Anyway, I'm gonna cut, if you can see this right there, I'm gonna cut the right side off and give it its own hole. Cut all these tomatoes off the bottom because they're starting to split rather than get ripe. And I think the reason they're not getting ripe is because it's two plants in one, and one's taking nutrients from the other. So I'm gonna separate them. As you can see, I got them tied up to the thing here. I'm gonna grab my post hole digger and the airboat and cut me this plant off and do. Stand by. All right, this is what I've cut off so far. I think I'm gonna have to cut off some more because now I've dug this big hole here. And that thing's curved. And I'm going to get a sharper knife, man, because that little knife was having a hard time getting through that vine. So I'm going to bury that whole curved thing into that hole. And these might be touching the ground too. And I'm going to brace it up here. All right. So they're separated now. The left one is already starting to wilt a little bit. You can see the leaves are like, what the hell happened? Going into shock. But I've buried them. I separated them. And they're both tied to the house. You see the wires, or the fishing line. And I'm predicting that the one on the right will do amazing, keep growing, and everything will start turning red on it. And I'm predicting the one on the left is going to go into a shock period and then maybe recover and hopefully start growing again. The top of it broke off too. But there's a sucker coming out, which basically becomes the new top of the tomato plant. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my tomato hiccups. Appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.